In my last video, you'll have seen the ATF soaking in the cylinders. I let this soak overnight, and then came back to it in the morning to take it out. I thought removing the ATF from the cylinders was going to be pretty easy, so I just took a small hand pump that I had sitting around the garage and started pumping. However, you'll watch in this elapsed 9 minutes of suffering that it didn't quite go as smoothly as I wanted it to.
There's so much fluid in that cylinder I forgot about. Wow. Jesus.
After pumping the ATF out of the cylinder, I took a shop towel and started wiping down the insides of the cylinder walls as well as the top of the pistons to get rid of some of the rust and carbon buildup. Then, to counteract my complete lack of patience, I came up with a great idea. Obviously here I decided to dump ATF all over my floor, but that was the quicker way to get it out of my cylinder. Nothing a few shop towels and a little bit of brake clean couldn't handle. Thereafterwards though, I did find myself at the auto parts store looking for some oil mat. The results were surprising. The ATF did its job and took away some of that carbon buildup and started to break up some of the rust. Now it was time to tackle the second bank. As you can see, the cylinder walls as well as the gunk down in the cylinders themselves is far worse than the first bank. I filled up each cylinder with ATF and let it soak overnight. Starting back up again the next day, you can really see how much this ATF worked to pull that carbon right off the top of the piston. As if I wasn't already a glutton for punishment, I did it again. Didn't I say something about oil mat earlier? After dumping fluid all over my floor again, it was time to wipe down the second bank of cylinders. You'll also watch as I push on the top of each of the pistons to make sure that none of them are too sloppy inside the bore. They all checked out, luckily.
So overall, that ATF did do some cleanup work on some of the nastier buildup. However, looking at this, we've still got some pretty nasty surface rust on the inside cylinder walls on a few of these cylinders. Others have small little specks, nothing a little bit of honing can't get out. Something like this, it's going to require a little bit of work. There's quite a bit of the big lip on that. Looking over at the other bank, similar results here. We've got just a little bit of surface rust on some of the cylinders, that kind of just wipes away. But yeah, not great. It's going to need some work. Going to need to hone it out. Given the unknown nature of this engine, I figure it's about time I crack this drain plug open and see how bad the oil is. Well, I don't see any glitter yet. But I guess I'll take a look at it when I pull the whole pan off. So taking a closer look at this oil after I've drained it here, I don't see any glitter. It just looks like engine oil and ATF soup. So time to take this oil pan off and see if there's anything hiding in the bottom of that guy. Taking a look down inside this bad boy, does not look like I see any glitter. It just looks like sludge down in there. So, might just be some coolant sludge, and then whatever's left of the ATF and oil that was left in there. We'll be in good shape. Or so I thought, until I started taking a look at this, and not gonna lie, looks like glitter to me. So before I get too far into the lower end of the engine, I wanted to see if I could turn this thing over. So I'm going to start with some WD-40 and some Scotch-Brite and see if I can't clean up a couple of these cylinder walls. If it's good enough for my cookware, I suppose it's good enough for these cylinder walls. Definitely come a decent way at ripping some of that out of there. I am, however, making a mess out of my garage floor. Get after this worst one here. This is the one I'm the most worried about. It's coming up a little bit.
One of the things I didn't end up showing was I took a plastic kitchen knife and actually scraped up the cylinder wall gunk. Seeing as I didn't get a video clip of this, I just wanted to appreciate how far these cylinder walls came.
Alright, well, now that I've got the cylinder walls a little bit more cleaned up, it's a bit time for the moment of truth. See if this thing will turn over. Oh. I mean, yeah, it's there. Good deal. Next thing I wanted to do is take out these lifter trays and lifters. Oh, perfect. Comes out with the lifters. I didn't expect that watching other YouTube videos of these people taking these apart. This is definitely a good sign. Slip right out. Fantastic. Perfect. Next thing I want to do here is take this harmonic balancer off and the timing cover. I'll get to the oil pump in a little bit. Would help if I had a battery. Oh my. Alright, now that I've let this thing sit in PB Blaster and I got the appropriate attachment instead of being an idiot, let's try this again. Oh, easy peasy. That'll do it.
After pulling the crank bolt out, here I am with the 3-prong puller, just carefully pulling the harmonic balancer off. Nice little improvised tool here. Just used the dead body of my adapter to
kind of center up on that with the nice chamfer it's still got there. Centered it up and used my tool here to press in and grab that harmonic balancer and pull it out. All right, let's get this cover off. Small little pry with that screwdriver and it just popped right off. So here we are. I'll set that cover aside for now. So before I go taking that oil pump off the front end of this, I do need to take the oil pickup tube off. So I'm going to just rotate this so I have an easier access. And we'll just get that tube right off the bottom end. Easy peasy. All right, let's get this oil pump off of here and then basically throw this one in the trash. I'm fairly certain I'm going to get a nice new one there afterwards. I won't be putting this one back in the engine. What's really nice here is it doesn't look like my chain has any play in it. It's not really sloppy, which is also nice, even though I'm going to end up replacing the entire timing assembly here. All right, one of the last things I'm going to do for now is take off the timing set. All right, so I think that's going to do it for now. I've taken apart pretty much everything other than the most important direction guiding items, which are in the bottom end here. I don't know what kind of condition the bearings are in, both on the crankshaft as well as the rod bearings. So I think that's really going to decide the direction of this build and whether or not I take it to a machine shop or if I just kind of slap it back together in my garage and decide it's good enough after I hone the cylinder walls out. So for now, I've just lubed everything up with WD-40. I'm gonna just slap a trash bag over it for now to make sure that I don't get anything else in the engine. And I'm gonna leave it at that. So, just like last time, if you've enjoyed watching what I've been doing and want to see more of what I'm doing, then please follow along. I'm enjoying it so far, and I like tearing down this LS. We'll see how far it goes before it just gets really expensive. Till next time.